Black Friday got you lusting after a new GPU or stick of RAM? Maybe you're in the market for an entire gaming PC or laptop. Well, hold on there a second. Amongst the genuine price slashes are a surfeit of scams and offloading old stock. Before you dive headfirst into this overwhelming ocean of offers, take a moment to study these top tips from PC Gamer's hardware experts on how to survive the deluge of deals and checkout carnage with a bona fide bonanza and your wallet's dignity intact. We've split them into the 5 purchases most PC gamers will be eyeing: graphics cards, SSDs, monitors, pre-built PCs, and gaming laptops. Here's what to keep in mind when shopping for each one. Over to you, James.
Looking for a gaming monitor upgrade but you don't know where to begin? Here are 5 things you should know. Your GPU matters. You want to run your monitor at its native resolution to avoid any fuzziness. That means if you buy a 4K monitor, you need to be able to game at 4K. If you have a budget or mid-range graphics card, 1080p and 1440p are your best bet. 100Hz or more. High refresh rate gaming monitors are easy to find these days, and most include some sort of technology to minimize screen tearing, though you can go overboard with 360, 480, 520Hz and so on. The ESL ain't gonna call you up, buddy, stand down. Would you like that wide or wide? Your average aspect ratio, 16:9, is pretty great, especially if you want to dual-wield monitors next to one another. However, an ultra-wide screen gives you a wider field of view in supported games and isn't as demanding as going full 4K, while still offering a lot of immersive qualities. HDR is a want, not a need. HDR or high dynamic range looks awesome when it's done well. The problem is, most game monitors don't really do it well. Neither does Windows. OLEDs and a few high-end monitors make it work, but if you see something labeled Display HDR 400, it's not HDR ready. Can you afford an OLED? Deep contrast, vibrant colors, and supremely quick response times all await gamers with an OLED. We like them, and while burn-in is often bandied around, modern OLEDs have measures to slow that threat.
Want to buy a pre-built gaming PC? Don't get caught out by dodgy listings. Listen to these 5 tips. 16GB of RAM is fine on a budget. RAM prices are pretty good these days, even for the faster DDR5 stuff we covet for gaming rigs, that you can get by with only 16GB. My only tip would be to keep an eye on whether that's dual channel or single channel. You don't want single channel. You can always upgrade later. The beauty of a gaming PC is that you can always upgrade it yourself. Need new RAM? Swapping sticks is easy. Broken fan? It's a simple swap. You might even find that you want to build your own PC from scratch at some point. Do it, it's great. More storage for the storage gods. Grab a pre-built with 1TB of storage as a minimum. I know the 512GB SSD seems like plenty, but it quickly gets gobbled up when you install a handful of modern games, plus your operating system and applications. Choose your graphics card. Narrow down your search by picking a graphics card in your budget and finding the best price on entire gaming PCs from there. It will make it easier to sift through the hundreds of options available to you at any one time and gives you a better point of comparison for prices between retailers. Check your PSU. You don't want a crappy power supply. It might break and it might take your other components down with it. Checking it's made by a trusted manufacturer is usually easy to do, and if it's not signposted on the product page, that might be a bad sign.
Buying your very first GPU can feel like an absolute minefield. Here are 5 tips to make things just a little easier. Buy the card, not the brand. Tribalism has no place in PC building. Buy the graphics card with the best bang for your buck and a solid feature set. Nvidia, AMD, and even Intel each have strong offerings at different price points, and there's no reason to stick to a worse performing card for the same money as something better just because of the badge on the box. Are you actually going to overclock? There's something to be said for overclocking to gain a few frames here or there, but you can easily overspend on a graphics card by opting for the top-end model. Save yourself some money, and if you're buying AMD, just undervolt your card instead. Stick to your budget. You can almost always spend more on a graphics card. Nvidia has made sure of that. Put as much money as you can into your GPU when planning out your build, and then try and stick to it. How much VRAM do you actually need? The going theory is that modern games are quickly outgrowing 8 gigs of VRAM. VRAM. There are some examples of that, but not every game today runs poorly on a card with 8GB or less. It's true some will, and that's why we recommend budget cards with more VRAM. But if money is especially tight, there's still life in 8GB yet. Check the size. Modern graphics cards are so big, they don't need the internet because they're already worldwide. My boss told me to say that joke. But in all seriousness, not every PC case is designed to accommodate for their elongated frames. Just make sure to check your case and card measurements, or whip out a trusty tape measure yourself.
Running out of storage on your gaming PC? Here are 5 things you should know before buying your first SSD. Find your slots. M.2 slots are what will allow you to use the fastest and most widely available NVMe SSDs. On either motherboard or laptop, an M.2 slot looks like this: a small key connector on one side and a screw or locking mechanism on the other. These might be hiding beneath heatsinks, so have a good look around. If you can't find any, you can always plug in a slower SATA drive into one of these connectors. Size matters. M.2 are thin slivers of storage, some more so than others. Most are 2280, meaning 22mm wide and 80mm long, though you'll find tiny 2230 drives inside handhelds and even some laptops. Know your speeds. The speed of an SSD is determined by a load of factors, though most important is PCIe generation. Gen 5 and Gen 4 are the most common. Gen 5 drives run at around 14,500 megabytes a second, and Gen 4 around 7,450. Both your drive and M.2 slot need to support the same generation to run at top speeds, but don't worry, if you buy the wrong one, it'll still work, just a bit more slowly. Raw speed isn't everything. A Gen 5 drive might run nearly double as fast as a Gen 4 drive, but you might not notice a difference while gaming. These speeds often noted on the box aren't the single most important thing for playing a game. The less often talked about random speeds are. Buy big. Us lot at PC Gamer like to hoard games like they might be ripped off a storefront at any time by fiendish publishers. Oh wait, that actually does happen. Anyways, it's a good idea to give yourself plenty of space for game downloads. A 512GB SSD just doesn't really cut it when games are hogging 100GB or more a piece. I'd recommend at least 1TB, if not 2, for most use cases. Don't worry, they're a lot more affordable than they used to be. Buying your first gaming laptop, here's 5 things you need to keep in mind. 14-inch or 16-inch. If you're mostly planning on gaming at home, 16-inch is the way to go. Hey, you could even go 18-inch if you wanted more screen space, but try fitting one of those bad boys in your bag. It won't happen. If you want a laptop you can both game on and take to work or school, 14-inch is the pick. Check for a spare NVMe SSD slot. In a perfect world, every laptop would include at least 2TB of storage and a spare NVMe slot for easy upgrades, and I'd pull a god pack in the Pokemon trading card game. This is not a perfect world. Laptop storage is often quite slim with no spare slot, and a golden Charizard evades me to this day. Is your memory missing? Some laptops try to cheap out on memory by only using a single stick. That actually limits your bandwidth and needlessly bottlenecks your other components, so try to avoid that, or at the very least, don't be afraid to upgrade. Does it all add up? It's one thing to buy a laptop with a 4K screen, it's another thing to actually play any games on it. If a laptop features a 4K screen and an RTX 5060, it's not for gaming. It's for professionals, i.e. dorks. You want something balanced: refresh rate, resolution, and GPU. Generally 1080p or 1200p for a budget machine, or 1440p or 1600p for a mid-range to high-end one. 4K is wasted on a tiny screen anyways. Headphones aren't required, but they help. Gaming laptops have improved massively in recent years. They used to be huge, ugly, and loud. Now they're small, good-looking, and loud. Yeah, they're still really loud. There have been some improvements here, but you really want a pair of headphones to go with that.
So there you have it. Now you're prepped to face whatever Black Friday throws at you. Don't forget to check PCGamer.com for the latest deals updates, and subscribe to us here for more PC hardware videos. For now though, good luck, gird thy loins, and I'll see you on the other side.